Premature evaluation for Knights of Pen and Paper +1 edition. This game is your classic turn-based RPG game. It's fairly new, came out maybe like a week or two ago. I've been having tons of fun with this game so far. This game started out as a mobile game on a phone and tablet, and on the tablet I think it's like $3, $4, something like that. And on the Steam version, which is the +1 edition, it has more features than the mobile version. I don't know how many more features because I don't have the mobile version, but if I ever do get it, I definitely will pick it up again on my phone or tablet. Other than that, this game is tons of fun. I'm surprised how much fun I've been having into it. The main factor is because this game is your classic turn-based RPG, but it has its own style. I don't know if you can see in the main menu that there's a table and there's a guy with a book. The reason why it's like that is because you're playing Dungeons and Dragons with your friends who are your playable characters. The way that works is the Dungeon Master, who is sitting right here, is basically telling you the story, and you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and the enemies appear on the screen behind you. I'm going to start up a new game. Hopefully it won't erase my file, but I'm going to start up a new game to show you what it's like in the beginning. It's pretty good if you ask me. I'm going to just make some simple stuff. I can go over all the classes and things like that. See, a new game, I already have a file. The day system is 374 days. That's kind of like how many turns you've taken. Like when you travel from one location to another location, it uses up a turn, and you do a battle, it adds another day. There's some achievements, like if you beat the game in under 365 days. I don't know if I'm ever going to try that, but it seems pretty fun, and a fun challenge. I'm going to start a new one. Just make sure, new game, new file. This is how it starts up. You only get to have 2 characters, or I think, yeah, 2 characters at the beginning. I already have some gold from my other save file, and I already have my custom desk. But you just click this. I don't know if I already have the unlocked classes. I do have the unlocked classes. You start with 6 classes, and then you have to unlock the other 6. The Paladin is one you get from the beginning. The Warrior, the Rogue, the Mage, the Druid, and the Cleric. You get all those from the beginning. Then you unlock through doing quests the Barbarian, the Bard, the Hunter, the Knight, and you also unlock a Shaman, a Necromancer, and I think one more else, but I'm not entirely sure. Each class has their own special skills, like the Paladin's mainly for tanking, because you need someone to absorb the damage, and they get that through their threat. You have the Warrior, which is kind of a bruiser. That's a tank, and he can do damage. I have a Warrior on my team. You have a Rogue who can do high damage. You have a Mage who's good at doing a single target and a AoE. You have a Druid who can heal and can buff your teammates. You have a Cleric who's just all healing and can weaken enemies, which I think is probably one of the best skills in the game. It makes their attack do less damage. So if they do 20 damage and you weaken them for 20 damage, they'll hit you for 1 damage. You can't make them do 0, but you can make them do 1. The Barbarian, he's like when you get to the unlockable classes, they're similar to the starting ones, but they have their own little quirks and tweaks to them. Like this one, he only has 1 active ability, which is Berserk, and that just makes him do more damage, which is pretty good. But I'm sticking with the Warrior because I don't really have I don't have a class set up for him. The different classes have different abilities, of course, but there's also different players. As you can see right here, Mr. John has Long Lived. He gets extra experience points every time you win a battle. You get 10% more. You have Nerd, discount when resurrected when dead. Pizza Guy, 50% discount to players who buy this character, but that's only if you buy him, so he's not recommended to get right off the get-go because you get the first 2 characters for free, so don't waste your money on that guy. You have Jock, who's good for doing damage because he has +1 to his attack. You have Woofy, who's actually an Easter egg from Star Wars. You get Chewbacca, basically. Chewie. He gets +1 to healing, so he's a pretty good tank. You have Little Brother, who is good for attacking because Initiate makes you attack faster. Rocker, you get more health. Paris, you get discounts. E.T., you get mana, so he's probably one of the better mages and healers. Then once you get onto these are the devs you unlock for doing a certain quest. You unlock developers from the game. They get special things like bonus potion effects and bonus lifesteal. They get bonus attack and resurrection cost, reduced mana or reduced threat and mana steal, extra threat and 10% more crit chance, 5 Initiate, 30% bonus experience. Hipster, who you get from the beginning, has increased damage range. So if you do like 1 to 10 damage, you'll do 1 to 11 or something like that. You have a higher chance of doing more damage, or you'll your lower numbers or something. I don't really know exactly how that works, but it's pretty good when you start doing lots of damage. Flowers on dice rolls, I'll get to that in a second, but I'll get to actually now. Actually, dice rolls are, since you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you use a 20-sided dice to do your actions on when you're moving from place to place and when you're crafting stuff. So let's say you need to roll between a 10 and 20 to create your new weapon. If you roll a 9, but you're doing it on the character flowers, you'll get a +1 to your roll, so you'll actually get 9 plus 1. So it can help you out on saving some circumstances on certain things. Grandma, she just is she has lots of threat, so she gets hit more often. It's kind of like taunting. And you get Miss Goldberry. I didn't use her, but she seems like she'd be pretty good because she gets bonus HP almost every stat percentage wise. You get skill duration, which he is probably the best for the cleric because his one weakened move gets +1 additional turn, so instead of lasting, how many turns was it? 2 turns, it'll last 3 turns, and you can also buy something that increases that to the other one. So those are the different things. I don't have all the classes, I'm still missing out, I think 2 of them, and that's the Necromancer and the Shaman, which look pretty good if you ask me. I'm gonna just create some characters. I'll make a rogue, just because this is what you'll have from the beginning. And I will also make a where's Chewie? There we go. And I'll make him a paladin, just because I didn't make a paladin yet. Alright, and then you can also buy more players, but it'll cost you 10 gold. I have a lot of gold, but at the beginning of the game you'll have 0, so you can't really buy one. So I'll just stick with this now. Your first quest is fairly simple. As you can see, it says your character sheets are all up to date. He just goes over the basic story and things like that. Let's just skip ahead for now. And also, something I noticed about this game is like almost every single one of these screens that you're at, like the background, there's almost always an Easter egg somewhere on these screens. Like and there's one location where you can see like a Mr. Krabs Easter egg from SpongeBob. There's another where you can see Slenderman. There's another where you can see the Willow Tree from Pocahontas. You can see Kermit the Frog, and there's one character called Milbury and he's in the Ghostbusters outfit. And there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs, which I think is pretty good considering the way this game is designed. And the thing for the combat in this game is really good, because the reason why the combat I think is good is it's your simple turn-based RPG, but you can add how many people you want to fight at once. If you want to fight one person, you can fight one person. If you want to fight 2 people, you fight 2 people. If you want to fight 3 people, you can fight 3 people. So you can choose the challenge of your character that you want to do. Of course, I have stuff already on the table, which kind of made this a little bit unbalanced, but I get +1 from item I bought using my gold in the shop. I get +1 to all my skills. Of course, I don't have much mana, but I'm just gonna kill these guys. It's your simple click-based stuff, which I think is nice. You can do this with one hand. I usually play this game while listening to a podcast or listening to some music. It works out pretty good if you have your spare time. You kill your guy. The combat in the very beginning, when you fight your first couple enemies, is really easy because it's just you can just auto attack because you don't have any skills at the beginning, so things are pretty easy. And then you get your gold, and then right here is you can battle again if you want to battle some more dudes. At the beginning of the game, you can only battle up to 5 guys at once. Then you can buy an item which will allow you to battle up to 2 more. There's a bed where you can rest at any time, but when you're in the wilderness, or like when you're in like a dungeon or something, not a dungeon, because there are dungeons in this game, but when you're in like another area that's not a town and you rest, you'll have a dice roll, and you have to roll between a certain, like I think one spot it's like 9 through 20, and if you roll in there you won't be attacked when you're resting, and if you roll below that and you get attacked while you're resting, your rest is interrupted, so you won't be fully healed, and you'll be ambushed by a random amount of people and a random enemy that's in that zone. So let's just continue on. There's also the inventory system. I don't really have anything right now on these guys. I just have some simple potions and their starting gear. They have no attributes, so it's fairly basic. And level up system, I can show you how that works. I just need to battle like 2 more guys actually. So I'll battle 2 more guys. There are some cons to this game that I will get into actually once I switch back to my main, the ones that I put most of my time into. I think I have 10 hours in this game and I still haven't beaten it yet. I think I'm more than halfway, but I'm not entirely sure. But I got 10 hours, considering the price of this game, which is $9.99. It's probably going to go on sale during the Steam summer sale sometime, or just over like a weekend sale or something like that. You can also buy it from their website, but I bought it from Steam. It's pretty good, but there are the cons that we'll get into, and I'll show off the shop thing and the other stuff in the higher level. But when you level up your character, you can choose to put it in between a skill that you can use that uses mana, like this one, Concussive Blow, deals more to 50% more damage, and disables your target for 1 turn and lowers the resistance by 5%. You can get one where you attack twice in 1 swing, but you do less damage per. You can get, so you'll do extra damage on every hit. It's 1 damage when you level it up, so instead of doing 5 to 7, you'll do 6 to 8. So you had 1 damage. It's pretty good. I put on my guy, I put most of my points into that. You can get one where you use a turn, but you get 8% more crit chance, which is pretty good considering when you crit, you always do double damage, because there's no like crit multipliers you can get that I've seen so far. It's either when you crit or you don't crit, and when you crit, you do double damage. So if you hit 100, you hit 200, which is pretty good considering most enemies in groups, if you have like a big AoE attack, you can mow down an entire group to farm up the experience pretty fast. But I'm just going to put it into this, because this I think is my favorite point. Raises damage by 1. Yes. Now the next guy, I didn't make this guy yet, but you can either get passives, which are ones that you don't have to activate them, that you just get the point. Then you have your active abilities like Holy Shield, you take less damage, you get an extra attack. So they changed some classes, like the Barbarian has only 1 active skill, and it's not even an attack, it's a buff, and then the rest of them are passive. Some people only have active abilities, so you get to pick and choose on what you want. Wish you could upgrade their passive, but that'd be kind of overpowered if you ask me. So I'm just gonna upgrade. I'll upgrade this. I'm not gonna play in these guys. So it's pretty good. There's also the setting system, which is okay. Battles, they're in the starting area, there's only 1 enemy, but I'm actually going to log, save and quit, and I am going to log into my higher level people, which this is when I'm going to start getting into the more, not want to say negatives, but the other parts of the game that are a bit weird. A lot of my higher guys, you see I'm almost level 30 on my people. I have my warrior, I have my mage, I have a rogue, I have a cleric, and I have my hunter. Hunter is good for AoE damage with his volley, and crit chance is pretty high. But some of the things that I don't like about this game is that you can buy gold with real money in the game. That probably comes from the mobile aspect of it, but if you want an extra advantage, you can pay. The best value is actually the $5, because if you spend $5 you get 10,000 gold, which is quite a bit of farming in this game. I've probably only earned maybe about 30,000 gold in my old 10 hours of playing, but the higher level you get to, the stronger monsters you fight, the more gold you get. So that gold starts to skyrocket when you're in a higher place, and gold gets spent really fast when you try to upgrade your gear, because upgrading your gear, there's a chance, which I can actually show you now. When you go to the blacksmith to try to upgrade your gear, you can craft it for 450. On my blacksmith is not a high enough level. Can I actually do that? I could do this right now. See, my current chest piece is right there. 5 health, 4 HP regen. I can get it upgraded for 300. I have a 50% chance of it being successful. And see, there's the dice roll. There's a 4. I got turned into a 5. So I didn't get it. So I'll have to roll again. I should have put myself offline. There you go, I got a 20. So now my chest has been upgraded. And there goes 600 gold. So upgrades are pretty expensive, but there are some cheesy things you can do with characters and items. Like you can stack an item that reduces the cost by like 5%, and you can stack 5 of those. I mean, that's only the low level ones. You can get higher level ones that make it cost like 10, so you can reduce the cost and increase the chance. There's some cheesy things you can do with that. There's also the items on the table that I was talking about. Is if you go to the shop, it brings you out of the game, like the game they're playing, and it brings you into a thing where you can buy with money at the game. 60 gold, you can get 10 plus 10 magic, extra magic duration. You can get life steal, you can get health and extra health, you can get more XP, you can get more crit chance. If you use these, it only lasts for 15 minutes. I don't know if they have a timer on the screen somewhere. I haven't bought one of these. I think it's a waste. Same thing with drinks. Objects, though, these are the things that you see scattered around my table. Oops, excuse me. Miniatures, this one costed about, I think, 2,000, but it's +1 to all skills, so that's why at the beginning of my level 1 characters I had all the skills, because I get +1 to everything. You get one, which this is the best one you can get at the beginning, because you can fight, instead of 5 monsters, you can fight 7 monsters at once, so you can kill more of them, and get more items, and get more experience. You can get one where you can have 5 players at a table, because at the beginning you can only have 3, and then you can buy that, which gives you 5. You can get one to get +1 to your dice rolls, and skill effects last 1 turn longer. Tables is where you can get different effects. Like if the stone table gives me more crit chance, the gold table gives me more gold, the glass table gives me more item, and so on and so forth. So the different tables give you different effects depending on your playstyle. Your master, I have the starting guy, he gives bonus experience. You get one so you get more magic and magic regen. You can get traveling cost and traveling speed, you can get attack and magic, and then you can get extra health. So basically these are all Easter eggs and what themselves. This is a Doc from Back to the Future, I think. I'm pretty sure. Then you got Yoda, you got Splinter, and you got Assembled Man, I don't know what that is. And you got furniture you can add. Like in this game is littered with Easter eggs from pop culture and things from there and there. You got maps, different things, and different stuff. Choose what suits your playstyle. Right now, I just have this to give me bonus health so I live longer. Furniture, doors. Some doors are pretty good. This one gives bonus XP. What's the one I'm using? I'm using this one, which gives me more magic regen, because magic is fairly hard to get when your spells start costing a lot. Books. I'm using this one because it's +1 regen to everything. It all depends on your playstyle. This one seems good, but who knows? Your pets, all that stuff. But the things it's good, but farming for the gold and that is fairly tough. I mean, because you don't get very much. Like I can do a battle here. I mean, these guys are lower level, of course, but if I do a fight, I can do like bandits. I can just add a whole bunch of them and see the difficulty goes up slightly. I can start the fight, and then I can just kill almost all of them with one shot, because my guys are fairly high level. I don't know why I didn't cast a spell there, but oh. The different locations that you travel to, they are pretty varied, but they're almost always the same. It's just a backdrop and different enemies to fight. So like I can show you, I'm going to travel to, right now I'm in Sunset Castle. I can travel to Default Village, which is the first town in the game, which kind of lets you off and gets you your first quests and stuff. See, it's usually just the background changes and the level of monster. So variation between towns is not very much. You can only do blacksmithing at the main town, and you have some other off villages, Journey Village, you have all different kinds of villages, and these are dungeons. The dungeons are pretty easy. I mean, it's just like I can actually travel to this one, I can show you. But the dungeons in this game are fairly easy to do. I mean, it opens up into a different screen that is much different than how you normally do a quest. It opens up into one of these. As you can see, there's Easter eggs from Mario all over the place in here. Instead of moving to a new location, you click this, and you can go to any location that's lit up. Like I can go over here, or I can go over here. Let's just go over here so I can just tell you. Maybe I can get a good roll. Yeah, see the different roll. If depending on what you roll, you'll get to choose between getting hurt, getting into a battle, getting healed, or getting some treasure. It's fairly rare to get the treasure, so I'm just gonna see. I think the key's over here. Yeah, see, I got the treasure this time, which is pretty good. I don't know exactly what you get. I think it's random each time, but almost all the times I've gotten through the first dungeon is just gold, and it's a low amount of gold at that too. this game is good. There are some flaws, like the pay to win aspect, because if you just drop like $5, you'll have enough gold to get you through almost the entire game with pretty good upgrades. Other than that, I think that this game gets a good thumbs up because it's fairly cheap. I've invested a lot of hours in this game, more than I thought I would have, and I still haven't beaten it yet. I still haven't unlocked all the classes, I still haven't done all the quests, I still haven't bought all the items, and the max level is 99, and apparently I read this from some online forums looking to find out how to get some of the other classes. You get the other classes just by doing quests, and I didn't know which quest to do, so I looked it up. But apparently when you reach level 99, I could be completely wrong, because who knows what you read on the internet, is you unlock a special dungeon that you can grind out to get some of the better items in the game and find some stuff and have a challenge. So those are the things. This game is extremely good. I would recommend picking it up. Big thumbs up from me, and I hope you guys enjoy.